We'll start off with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So we don't have a agenda for this evening, but the first order of business would be to elect officers and the chair, the vice chair, and the secretary. So,
I'd like to nominate Jay Ward for chairman.
I'll second that.
anybody else?
Oh, and I'll second that.
All right, so,
All in favor?
all in favor? Thank you. Vice chair,
I'll nominate Cindy.
second?
I'll second that.
All those in favor? Or anybody else?
Oh, no.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it, congratulations. Secretary,
I'm not good at writing.
Denny, help us.
Oh, my writing's not that good. You don't want me to
who's not
do it.
here?
I don't
That's
know.
a good one. Who are we
I'm
gonna
kind of a
say?
slow writer,
Right.
so, yeah.
I don't have
It's
any.
That's
Real
somebody
easy,
that
we
has to
don't-
write.
We haven't had minutes that have been published anyway, so I mean, if
Yeah.
we could help out if you're willing.
I give it a shot, but.
Perfect.
I need some, a writing paper and oh, I'm sorry, this is my first night, so.
See, we teach you.
So I'll nominate Bill.
Second.
Second was Cindy. And anybody else? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Congratulations. Sorry that nothing went out. We didn't have a chair, and I hadn't received all this information prior to this meeting. The one thing we do have on the agenda that we don't have is to go over the Langley Shores amended application for Article 43. So, as I understand it, some of the language that the Select Board had a little bit of a concern with has been removed, and we have an updated estimate, which I have handed out. We've discussed the project at the last meeting.
Has the scope of project changed? It was just paper, like on paper. Like the actual scope of the project's the same.
It's exactly the same. The application initially did not refer to anything other than what's in the updated estimate.
Yeah.
So everything is basically the same. It's, all I did different was I just made very clear where the work was going to be, which is from Dennis Chardonnay's survey marker to his driveway entrance. So, and that's, as you go into the road, you know, definitely see those two landmarks.
And that seems to be the one point that the Select Board was concerned about.
Actually, yeah.
I don't think the select board had any reason to deny this application. I think it was illegal, the fact that they did. There's nothing in their policy or in the ordinance that even if you were to do what they said that you said, it has no reason to deny that, and I don't think it was legal.
Yeah. It wasn't in the application.
I think if it, like, I'm not saying you guys were gonna sue the selectmen, but if it went to court, they'd lose in that one 100%, because they have no justification according to their own policy to deny that. What it was is one of the selectmen's friends was involved in an issue, and they all jumped on board just to jump on board because of, that you're talking about taking that one citizen to court, and they're getting involved in a civil matter, which the town has no liability in. It was all absolutely ridiculous to even bring up that type of stuff. and that's all I'm gonna say.
So I did go to the select board meeting, and I'm a little bit fuzzy now. They didn't actually deny it, they just,
They did deny it.
oh, they did?
They did deny,
Pending-
they did,
Well,
they denied it, and then they suggested that I resubmit with a little more clear language, which
But
is
there-
what
I
I've
didn't-
done.
You, on your side of the application, there was nothing that even mentioned that culvert
No.
on the paperwork.
Yeah. it
That's
was-
why I don't think they had any right to deny it, because on the paperwork, they had nothing to do with that.
Well, maybe this year we can work on making it easier for these roads to get help and rewrite some
I
of
agree
these
with you,
rules.
Cindy, 100%, 100%.
No, I think we just, should
Because
probably,
it's something that the taxpayers get benefit off the town, and anytime
Yeah.
taxpayers are getting a little benefit, I think it's a positive.
Very,
But it
very,
was easier when they originally was done. It was a lot easier, and the selectmen at that period changed the whole application process 2 times
yes,
to make it harder,
yeah.
intentionally.
Well, I think we need, this is the reason this committee was formed, is to help these roads when the law went through in 2006. And when, I want to take a hard look at the roads that were town-maintained at that point
Well,
and
it's
then
too-
dropped and see what shape they're in right now.
It's too sad in the aspects, and I'm not to jump way back to, like you said, in 2006, but the road committee back then, right, you guys, you were on it, people like Dave Cody and stuff, there was a lot of work that went on in that road committee that got thrown to the wayside, and then you had another group of road committee people, right, that did a lot, Bill Gannon and stuff like that at that period, and all that got thrown to the wayside, and that's my only issue. I do agree with you that a lot of stuff could really benefit from, but sometimes it feels like you're just talking into deaf ears.
Well, we need some help from the selectmen, and we need them to realize what the problem, people just don't, it's not that they're unwilling, they don't know how to do it. And for you to go, imagine your road is now abandoned and not taken care of, and you've got to get everyone together to vote on what we're gonna do, how we're gonna pay for it, how much it's gonna get cost. And
None of these
people just
projects
don't know
like
how
this
to
used
do
to
it.
get done before Article 43. A lot of these projects like this didn't get done.
Yeah.
So if we could, is there a motion on the floor to accept?
I'll make a motion to accept the application.
Thank you.
Approve it.
Any discussion about that? Seeing none, all those in favor of accepting the application and moving it to back to the select board, say aye.
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 Opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you.
Thank you, and,
I will make sure that we are there for the next meeting when it's going to be brought up to the select board.
so it'll be the next Wednesday?
I'm going to try, I'll put it in and see if that can get it on that agenda.
Okay, all right,
I'll
just,
let you know.
all right, thank you.
Thank you. So if we could continue that discussion about making the process a little bit easier or clearer for the private roads. We have had discussions at the last select board, no, 2 select board meetings prior to this, and I have spoken with Selectman Walsh and Tom, and we are going to have a meeting with them. And I know that Ed Walsh is now the liaison to this committee, and so he's open to suggestions and wants to hear from us about how we could make it easier and make it where more applications can be brought forward from.
We've had other roads. There's been a lot of other roads that have been denied due to other reasons, right? There was that one on Great East that we gave them money one year and then they changed the application and they couldn't do it again.
That was Wilkins.
Was that
That's-
Wilkins Road?
That's a shame, yeah.
That's just one road due to the, 100% due to the change, and
I think the other one was like the,
I know they did
Asbury
not-
Lane, that one up on Bulch Lake.
yep, there's one up on Bolts Lake.
I think it has to do with like that being like a great pond. I think that's what kind of like throws people off sometimes, you know what I mean? Cause like, people ask me and I don't know like how to explain it good enough to them, like, I feel like it's a little complicated to get around it, you know what I mean? And I feel like we could take like, cause don't you have to be like qualified to take like a great pond, or you have to?
I don't know how that works well myself.
Right,
Yeah,
It's a list I think the state has, that probably has to do with acreage.
right.
I'm guessing, when I say this, it's just a guess.
yeah, so we'll spend some time in the next couple of months trying to come up with a better process, better application process. See,
It's really what we can do legally. How light you can make it and still keep it in a legal manner.
and to look to see if we could increase the $3,000 to something that's
A little
more
bit more.
substantial and would be able to really help as.
No, you're
we-
right, 'cause
we know the
$3,000
roads have cost a lot more money than they did 4 years ago. Your public roads, same thing on the private roads. I know we're spending
Well,
a heck of a lot
$3,000
more.
only gets you 6 to 8 inches over X amount of feet, right?
Exactly,
It doesn't get you a lot, and if you don't have a lot of money to put up yourself, that's when stuff doesn't happen.
yeah. I know, the Abbott Road Jericho Association will be putting in a proposal. They're replacing culvert. So I think that's going to probably be in the next month. But we'll reach out to some of the private roads and see if we can give them assistance in the application process.
There might be associations that don't even know about it.
Oh, I'm sure there
It
are.
could be that possibility, because if you're not involved in town stuff in the last 5, 6 years, you probably wouldn't know about it.
Exactly. Exactly. So if some of our members know of road associations that could use our help, please bring it forward and we'll reach out to them.
I have a list of some, and I'll get that together.
Okay. Was there anything else to come up?
I was kind of wondering, talking about this Langley Shores, the culvert that caused all the issues, if it wasn't approved by the town driveway permit, or I don't know if code enforcement handles that, or if it's the road commissioner handles that, if it wasn't approved and they put that culvert in on their own, and it causes damage, that maybe there's some way that, and I think we would only recommend that somebody get some kind of adjustment or settlement as far as covering some of the damages caused, because if the town's just putting out money every time there's an incident like this, that's gonna cost the town a lot of money that, quite frankly, was caused by somebody's negligence, if that's the case. I don't know.
So as I understand it, the town has nothing to do with it. They didn't put any money into that.
Part of the problem is too, is the location, right? Because that hill, the town is really steep, and the town has 1940s type of drainage on it. There's nothing really to slow it down. There's a couple dump spots or whatever, but there's no like catch basins or anything like that to really control that stormwater, because it is an extremely steep grade. I mean, I don't know what the exact grade is, but it's extremely steep. And that's really what caused probably 80% of the water that came and washed the road out, was probably the town. And if you look on the DEP hot list, now this has been on it for years, and every time we have a Article 43, everybody always gives it to you, and it tells you all the hot spots. And the towns are red. It's been red since I've been on the road committee, and
Yep.
that section of the town has always been in the red, and really, the town should be fixing that, which is
Okay.
gonna be a heck of a lot more money than the $3,000, but the
Yeah.
town needs to do something with that hill. It's never really been dealt with. It washed out completely on the Patriots Day storm, and then my uncle fixed the road and repaved it and stuff like that, but it's washed out, the sides of it have washed out multiple times.
Yeah,
So-
that's-
And really, and they should do something with the sediment, because if you look at the springtime, the bottom of that hill has got, I mean, I used to clean it up. It's got a lot of sand there, a lot of sand, because you obviously gotta sand the hill pretty good, or people aren't going up it.
Hussey Hill's a mess, too.
Yeah, Huzzy Hill's awful.
So I'm assuming that's Adams.
Yeah, Adam takes care of it being on a.
But he's doing that Buzzell Road thing, and I don't know, that might be next on his list, I don't know.
I know last summer he spent like some good, I don't wanna talk for him, but he spent some good amount of time on Langley Shores. I know they hauled a bunch of riprap in.
No, he
from,
rip wrapped it, I guess, but I haven't been up there, I meant to go up there, but I guess the rip wrap's all filled up with sand at this point.
I haven't been up.
I haven't either, but I've been told through the grapevine.
But, yeah, if it's all like a private road, we usually, just gotta do with the driveway permit, we usually don't, because it's got nothing to do with us in the town, so I mean, I don't think there was ever.
I
Yeah,
vaguely remember the plan, right? And it might have been an access road there. To do the septic, because their septic was on the other side of the brook, I think. There's
No,
a
I
brook that
think when
goes up through their property and it,
When it went through, it took out a septic system down below.
did it?
Yeah,
That was one of the things, I mean, I was big on her getting her variance on that, but that was one of the things people were complaining about, of that happening with the stormwater and washing it out.
I mean,
yeah.
how would you really fix that? Would you have to just pave and curb all the road and put catch basins in every,
What's that on Langley Shore?
On Langley Shores, yeah, you'd have to, that's probably what you'd have to do, or at least do a rock ditch and do,
and there would have to be a retention
And they'd have-
pond or
at the bottom.
ditches going off to the sides as you go downhill to spread that water out.
They've got spill-off spots going down the hill right before, when it goes down, then it flattens out, and then there's like a house right there on the left. It's like right there, right after their houses. I know there's a spot there, I'm pretty sure it dumps out, but
I don't know, and maybe next meeting we have Adam will be here, we could,
Yeah.
I have no
this might
idea.
be something you might wanna think about in the next couple of years or something, because it is an issue.
Right,
yeah, and, Bill, to your point, I know there's been some back and forth, some, requests for information, about that with the code enforcement. I don't know where it is right now, but,
I mean, I know for my property, when I built, I had to have a approval for where my driveway opening was gonna be and the size of the culvert, in the ditch.
I don't know if the town does that. That was through the state, because you're on a state road. It might have been through,
Actually.
I don't remember when I put my place in, if I had to get a, that's
You're
the only reason
right.
I'm saying, I don't remember if I had to get a,
they do now, but we usually just deal with the ones on the town road, like if it's on a private road, we never really go look at it, I can remember. But no, if you're on a state road, yeah, the state probably made you pull a permit.
So for me, yeah, I did have to apply
Maybe-
with the state for that opening and, they suggested the culvert and,
they dictate the size? What size it's gotta be?
they did minimum, they said it had a minimum size.
Yeah.
And, we followed that and, they recommended that whatever ditches along my road be a certain
Great.
grade and it was already pre-made, so I didn't have to do anything
Yeah.
with the ditch.
And usually, if it's private, I don't remember like really ever going and looking at one for the town, it's usually just like.
Maybe we should start having you guys look at them in the future.
On Langley Shores, then, they didn't need a permit to
They might
put
not have
a
needed one.
culvert and make an
Yeah,
entrance.
Well, I mean, because I was probably, not on a town road, so I mean, like, if it's on like a town road, we'll definitely go look, like, I probably looked at a couple of them,
Yeah.
the last couple of years, like on because we gotta sign off on it, that's how, like, they go downstairs, like,
Yeah.
they'll call us, and then, the code enforcement officer will give you like a sheet, then we'll go look at it, then, sometimes you're not sure, I'll like set a trans up, I'll shoot the ditch and see what you could put in there for a culvert, give them a recommendation of how big the culvert should be, and then sign off on it, but don't hold me to it, I don't think I've ever gone on on a private road.
Maybe they should start having you guys do it on the private roads. It'd
Yeah.
make it easier,
I mean, I don't know
be
who's,
Nothing to
consistent,
do with us, but that's.
be consistent anyway.
I don't know whose job it would be, but I mean, I would propose to the town that, anybody that builds a new place or upgrades a driveway or any kind of road access needs to get approval from the town. And if they're already been using an access for years, it's not
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
matter, it'll be a moot point, but if it's brand new, or they're taking a 10-foot wide right-of-way and turning it into a 50-foot wide entrance for a business or something,
And some
yeah,
people-
you have to, somebody has to look at that, because otherwise, down the road, it's gonna cost the town a lot of money, I feel.
So would that be something that you would want to talk to code enforcement about and see what the legal issues are and see if they're even able
I
to do
guess,
it?
I mean, I could call Jason, we could just like touch on it, you know.
Yeah, casual
It's prob-
conversation.
It's probably, more or less probably a legal thing at the end of the day.
Yeah,
if had to
I would
say.
think so, but.
Yeah, when I lived in Shapley, actually, I had to have a driveway permit
You did?
on Nason Road, and that's a dead-end road, yeah. Yeah, the.
Is it a town road?
Yeah.
Burnell, yeah, John
Nason
Burnell
is.
came out and showed him where I wanted my entrances, and he had to approve or
Yeah.
deny.
Yeah, I built about 6 years ago, and I don't think I had to get a permit.
That might be
on a
something we
private
should
road.
think about doing, you know, solve some headaches later down the road.
Yep,
I think we'll
So-
have to present that to the board, the select board, that we need to
Something to think about, right?
have code
I mean, you could
enforcement.
have that conversation with the code enforcement to see, get a background
Yeah.
before we even go to.
I mean, I'd be glad to talk to him
Great.
about it.
Thanks. Thanks.
I don't think there's enough people in enforcement. I think the DEP has only got one guy for 28 towns.
I was just on the phone with DEP the other day, they're pretty stretched thin right now.
So, for the next meeting, we'll have an update and figure out where to go from there. The one issue on the pre-meeting for the,
Oh, the road assessment, yeah.
yeah, so she said that both you
Yeah, me and Al will be there regardless, we're just
you and
gonna,
Adam are gonna be there.
out of the 4 of you, you just gotta probably pick 2 of you to, I mean, they probably do it like, I'd say afternoon time, probably like 5, so I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be hard. Anything's gonna be hard for me during the week after work.
I'll go if nobody else is
Yeah,
there.
you can, I'm all for you going, Cindy.
And I can go.
Oh, good.
Because what time do you get out of work, Bill?
I get out at 5, and by the time I
Yeah.
get over here, it's at least 6:15 usually. I got out a few minutes early today, but normally I'm available at 6:15 or on.
I mean, after, maybe we could throw it around to him next week, and
And see what works for time-wise.
yeah, usually if I feel like we have a meeting like that, probably around like 5 probably, you know.
Yeah, probably be on the earlier end. They probably don't.
Yeah, I don't know what, if the engineers got flexibility or not.
So, I'll talk to Jennifer, and then I'll let you all know
Yeah.
what time it is, and
Yep.
anybody can show up.
I mean, I guess I can ask to leave early if,
I mean, if it'd be something, I think they just want like 2 people that are like, to represent the road committee, so if
Right.
it's something you'd be interested in doing, then, you know, we don't wanna get you in a bind at work, that's all.
yeah, I mean, I have pretty full days every day, so.
So, I mean, I'm sure at some point it'll probably come back to the road, I'm sure at some point it's gonna wrap back around, so, I mean, probably just get the ball rolling, maybe just have Jay and Cindy do it, then I'm sure the information's coming back to us at some
Oh,
point.
definitely.
But I'll let you know what time
Yeah.
and if you're available. Was there anything else?
I know, I don't know for the people that are DEP certified, I know that, I talked to John McLean the other day, and I know they're having like a class here, probably, I think in October, so, when I know, I'll probably just let Jennifer know, and then people can come, you know, 'cause mine runs out in December, so,
Great.
You wanna stay on that?
yeah.
It would be good to have one of their snow and ice classes. this
Oh, yeah,
fall.
the lady from the state, Tammy, whatever her name is, she sends me emails all the time. There was a gravel road one, but it was like up in Freiburg. And I
Yeah.
think I missed, by the time she sent it, I think it was like that week or something, but, I can call her about a snow and ice management class.
Last year it was great, and it was in Sanford, and the guy came down and calibrated the spreaders.
Oh, really, yeah?
Yeah, showed us how to calibrate them, and then we went right to the garage. They had the morning classes, they gave us lunch, then we went over to the garage, and they hauled it out and showed us exactly how to do it. And that's a way to save money. I was throwing too much dirt out there.
The last time we did it here, the guy, I don't know if he ever, he was supposed to come back and he was gonna show us how to calibrate it. I don't think the guy ever came back. I'm not 100% sure. I can't remember.
Yeah, it would be a great thing, you could do it right down at well, anywhere, that you can spread out a big piece of
Why just do it
canvas.
right down in the sand shed?
Yeah,
Well, the thing is if you did do that, which I've said this in the past, we could have equal service on each side of town. Every road should have the same service, right? Like, Will, you should put the same amount of sand down on the H road as Adam's putting down on the Hopper Road, as he's putting on the Sanborn Road, or even, you know what I mean? There should be a standard that you put out at certain temperatures, and it'll save the town money, and everybody should have the same service.
well, you've
Because how it
got,
works now is your driver picks what he wants to do, and then Adam's drivers pick what they want to do, and you try to tell people what to do, but you know as well as I do, when you tell somebody what to do, when you leave, they do what they want to do. I mean, that's just the way it works.
the spreaders is a big thing, and having ground speed control is another, and they
Yep.
suggested if the truck has ground speed control, you pay $25 more per hour for that truck.
Oh, there's ways to do it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ways that the town could do it.
You're saving 30% with the ground speed control of your material. And everything we throw down in dirt, I'm giving the whole class, but everything we throw down in dirt, that's $300 to $500 a yard finished, because the dirt doesn't go anywhere. It goes in your culverts, it goes on the side of the road, and we're left with the fines, which get slippery. So, it was really good, and I think we should pursue having them down here.
So you'll,
I can call that lady at the
Great.
state. I mean, probably have to, make sure it's not, I think they need like, I think at least 5 people that are interested in going,
That's
so.
great.
Yeah, I know, I mean, it's one of those, I don't know, I'm one of those people, I don't think we'll ever be able to get rid of the sand, but that's just my.
I don't think you should get rid of the sand. I think sand has a very, very useful part. I think straight salt's not the answer, because your car just goes to crap real fast.
Honestly, I think,
good for the vegetation.
I think if you, in some cases, if you threw sand down on top of snowpack or ice, it does a better job.
It does a
than
better job.
when there's salt, because the
That's how it
salt,
was when I was a kid. When I was a
salt
kid.
makes it slippery.
Yeah.
It really does, and it makes the surface soft, so any grit that's on top of the surface now is mixed in or impregnated, because the salt has softened up the, what's covering the road.
Yeah, you're not supposed to put the salt on the gravel roads. They said that you treat them entirely differently.
Yeah, because the salt
Yeah.
would keep it from freezing, or,
Right,
Oh, it thaws it. It thaws it out, and then you
Yeah.
have a whole, gets muddy, and then it freezes, and you get little ruts, and
yeah, you don't want salt on gravel, you want that
No.
to stay hard so you can plow it.
Yeah, and that's the trouble with our road, it's half and half.
Yeah, no, I kinda treat every storm's different, you know, I treat for my conditions and what's, you know, I mean.
no, but if we had a chart and you're using controls, then you could do that, and it'd always be different depending on what was actually
Adam's
going
truck's
on.
pretty interesting, like, 'cause like when he was down at Mass, like, he's got all that computers in
Yeah.
there. And that thing will tell you everything you want to do, like, he's got it set,
Yeah,
I don't know if it I can't remember what he said, but it's, he's got a computer in his truck and,
that's what you were saying last time we were talking about it.
yeah, they had it calibrated, you know, every year when he worked on it, you had to have
Yeah.
it calibrated, you
Yeah.
couldn't run and stuff like that.
Did you get the thermometers, the surface thermometers
No.
to put on? No, you didn't, because we bought 2 of them.
No, I've
Each
never,
side of town had
I've
one.
never seen
I don't
one.
think anybody's seen those, Cindy, since they disappeared.
I've personally never seen one.
Okay.
And the town never keeps good track of anything. That's
You
how
know,
stuff gets stolen.
We have a lot of weather that's right around freezing, and you got a shady piece of road, or one that maybe has, say, a ledge underneath or whatever, that is more prone to freezing more quickly than another section. For people that are going too fast, they get a wake-up call.
Yep.
They hit those spots, and really, that's up to the road guy, the guys that are doing the plowing and sanding, to know where they need more sand or salt because of those.
Hey, you know your areas, it takes you like the first go around of the year, but you know when you're going. My other thing too is, like, I have my tree guys go up to like my main roads, I cut them back and you let that sun beat on them roads
That's another
throughout the day, I'm telling you what, they keep
Keep
traps
your roads-
that heat in there and you'll
Keep
bear
your
your
roads
roads out
pruned up.
quick. I mean, I did on West Shore Drive last year, we pruned the whole road and I could never get to the end of that road to bear up, and now it's pruned back, like, my brother just like goes in there, trickles a little bit of material in the middle, and between like, if the sun comes out that day, usually by lunchtime, that road's bare.
That's one of the things
Yeah.
Joe Letourneau wanted to do on District 2, was prune up the roads and open them up. He talked about that quite a bit.
No, I'm saying, it work, I mean, you can get the sun in there, beat it right
It
on
saves you
there.
on the salt. That's what Joe was saying. It saves you
I
on the
mean, I
salt.
did the H road, I did the H road, I did West Shore Drive last year, I'm gonna do the other end of Goose Pond Road. I'm gonna go up the H road this year, do some more and whatnot, because like I have sections on the H road where it's so like ingrown, it takes,
Oh, yeah.
you know, you treat it, then in the mornings you get that traffic, you know, well, you get a lot of traffic, that traffic will work the material and it'll eventually bear up, but like up by my house, like where, you know, Scott Mooney had that all cut out, that'll bear right up, you know, the minute that sun hits it, it'll bear right up.
When I worked for Dave, we did a road a year. So we did, road a year. Take us 2-3 weeks, whatever, we'd go in there with pole saws and chainsaws, and we'd just open it right up, and it looked like a hurricane runway, you know?
Yeah, you start opening up, it makes everything, I mean, that's what we do, we try to get,
But if you do a road a year, then a road gets done every 5-6 years.
I know the power company's doing H Road now, and they're doing a pretty good job.
oh yeah, they're,
They did my driveway. The last time they pruned, they didn't do my driveway, and this time they came right in my driveway Saturday. Guy climbed the trees, the whole 9 yards.
Nice.
I'm surprised with my dogs, but it didn't bother them.
you know, they're moving right along, so,
Yeah, they've got 5 trucks,
oh yeah, they don't,
chippers, and, yeah.
I'll make a phone call, I'll call that, I'll have some time tomorrow, so I'll call that lady and
Great.
I'll let you know, I guess.
Anything else come? So next meeting, I don't know what's coming up in the month of August. We don't.
Well, we got this
have to
meeting
have
with
a
the
meeting.
engineer at some point, right? That's
Yeah.
coming up in August, 1st of September maybe or something. The first week I'm not gonna be around, but
So the second week of September?
work for me, yeah.
I'll be gone.
You'll be gone?
I'll be gone till the 19th.
Of September?
Yep, I'm
Last week.
taking my 2 weeks a year, that's what I get.
So the last week of September. How's that?
Yeah, that'll work.
That's good.
I feel like by then we'd probably have the time, that'll be done. West Shore Drive,
You should be into that at least by then,
fingers
right?
crossed, done,
How's that road coming? Will you guys start that yet?
next week.
Next week you're starting that?
We just been doing a bunch of like maintenance work this week, we did a bunch of ditching, went up by the dump.
How much gravel's that gonna take, Will, you know?
Right around, it's like, you want the exact number?
No, I'm just,
Right, it's like just shy of like 600 yards.
oh, that ain't bad.
Then then I average like another like 100, just in case we get some rain, I gotta touch it up
Yeah.
or something, but it was right around 600
That
yards.
ain't bad. I thought it was gonna be way more than that.
No, I mean, everything's good on it, it's all gravel on it.
Oh, no,
so
it's
we're
good-
just-
it's good
we're just
gravel,
gonna
yeah, no doubt of that.
We're just gonna skim over like 6-8 inches and call it good and make those culverts bigger so they can swing their apron and,
I know when Rudy used to sell gravel, he always had really good crushed gravel.
yeah.
So does
does-
the town ever have a chance to get road grindings when somebody's, the state or somebody is,
I don't think they want them hauled into town. I know there was a pit up on the H Road that was talking about cause it was, McCoy was talking about hauling in the grindings, and that was an extremely odd
Yeah,
issue.
here's the ultimate question is, we have quite a few roads that have soft shoulders and still need some repairs, I think.
yeah.
And there's some sections where, you know, scraping a little of that sand out of there and putting
Oh, yeah, no, I agree
road
with you.
grindings in place in those sections where
there's
traffic
actually a
is.
load on the shed right now, Adam's got a friend that they got a pile of it.
Yeah, they've
Yeah.
got a big pile down there.
Oh, no, he brought, I don't know where he got it from, but, there's a pile, there's a trailer truck load at the shed
Really?
right now.
Oh, we use a bunch of that. That road I'm working on now, Mitchell Hill, we've probably put 3,000 yards at least of grinding.
There's really nobody, I mean, unless they're gonna,
Good and
somebody,
cheap.
unless somebody's gonna come through and like start doing like a road project, there's really nobody around that's, I mean, we don't generate enough hot top in a year to have it ground up anyway, you know what I mean?
Isn't it a bunch of it already ground down at the,
There should be a bunch
Shed?
down there.
yeah, about
Yeah.
1,000 yards of it, I think, was ground up that was supposed to go underneath the new sand shed, and they didn't
Ain't
use
there.
it.
It's always been just that big pile of gravel.
No, it's the gravel's what's there. They crushed most of it, but I don't think that stuff they got there was crushed.
No,
The stuff we crushed, we hauled up on Peck Road. They box cut that out like 5 feet.
okay.
That way they could accumulate money or whatever reason they did it, you know? But that's where all that crushed gravel went, and they sold it from that account to the
Well, that's
other
good.
account.
You know, the only thing down there now is just that big.
You should
pile.
think about maybe crushing that, just to get rid of that material, to do something with that, Will, though, 'cause that is a huge pile of dirt.
I've thought about doing something with it, just try to,
It wouldn't be, like I said, town paid to have it crushed once, so to think that you couldn't hire a guy to come in and crush that. You know, what I mean, the town did it once, it crushed that pile, you know, and get a good crusher in there, it wouldn't be that big of a deal.
you know, we thinking about like setting up so they can just shoot it right in the middle of the dome, you know, then it's
Yeah.
out of the way. But no, I mean, we really don't have any, like, nobody that really has like millions around unless somebody's gonna like do like a big project, you know what I mean? There's really, like I said, we don't generate enough hot top in the year to even think about crushing it, so. But, yeah, no, that would've been a good spot up there to have it, but.
But David, everybody that did hot top and all of our spare hot top always went down there to the shed, there might be, I'm not saying a lot there, but there might be,
Yeah, that's what we do, we got hot top.
so you do with it, right? You haul it all down
We
there?
haul it down there, if we got like hot top left, we haul it down there.
Should be a pile down there by now, after 10 years.
Yeah, it's not, I mean.
Might not be too, I mean, it's not like you
Really
guys are
not.
doing a lot of projects,
No, there's really,
just cutting out little pieces here and there
there's
usually,
really not
right?
a lot.
So, next meeting will be, September 28th, does 6:30 still work for, is that good for you, or
Yeah, that's
better than,
a little bit later is fine with me, so.
Yeah, I like it better.
yeah? Okay.
September 28th?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
Thursday at 6:30. And entertain a motion to adjourn.
Probably the only other thing, Jay, you wanna do, is just probably make sure you scratch in with Jennifer, because I know sometimes they have like the planning board meetings, but maybe they can alternate the.
Right,
I
if
guess
there's a problem on that
Right.
date, I'll get back to you, but
Yeah,
right now
let us
we'll
know.
say 28th.
No.
Yeah,
Sounds good to me.
great, all those in favor of adjournment? Thank you very much.
And Will, if you talk to Tammy, ask her about the class.
Okay, I gotta give you my phone number.
The ice
Great.
class.
Yeah, that's